Welcome to the NYSC Amex, NYSC ARCA Options webcast on PNP order types. I'm joined by the irreplaceable and irrepressible Amy Farnstrom, and I am Todd Weilman, and I'll learn how to talk later. Couple of quick notes. At the bottom of the big window, you'll see a magnifying glass. This will help you size up or down the window to make it larger. Also, if you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a place to enter in questions. Please start sending those questions in whenever they pop into your mind, and we will answer those at the end of the day. Moving on to legal, this is just for information and illustration, no forward-looking statements. And here is the agenda. So we're going to be talking about post-no preference, and we're going to explain it. Most important thing is the 6th bullet point questions. So if any questions at the bottom of your screen, start typing them in, and we will answer them at the end of the show. So let's go right into, also, you can find this copy of this webcast on our website at nysc.com, nysc.com. If you go to the left side of the screen, left side of the web page, you'll see options and derivatives, or futures and derivatives. If you click on that, it'll open up a window that says NYSC Amex or ARCA Options. Pick either one, go to the Education tab, and you will find it right on that page right there. Okay, let's get started. Post-no preference, PNP. Now, this is an order type that is on both exchanges. Page isn't coming up. Kind of one more time. Survey says... Well, as the screen starts coming up, this is our plain vanilla post-no preference. It stands for post-no preference. These orders are not going to route off the exchange. They're always limit orders. They will trade any available size on NYSC, ARCA, or Amex at the national best bidder offer. And if upon receipt after trading any size in our exchange, the order locks or crosses the MBBO, it cancels back to the firm. Now, Amy, this happens to have a lot of cancels, right?
It does, but the good thing is that along with the PNP Plus order type, we offer fast cancel replace, which cuts down on the amount of messaging that our clients have to deal with because it's one message in, one message out. And it also saves us a lot of time on our order tables because the order record is simply overwritten. So anybody that's interested in using the PNP order type, we strongly encourage them to take advantage of the fast cancel functionality. The other thing I wanted to mention is that on the statement where it says it will trade at NYSC ARCA or NYSC Amex, that is depending on where the order is initially routed to. So a PNP that's entered on NYSC ARCA will stay on NYSC ARCA. It will not route to Amex and vice versa. And when we say that any portion that does not trade is posted to the book, that's if we are bettering the NBBO, and it can be posted without locking or crossing. Once it posts to the book on NYSC ARCA or NYSC Amex, should the NBBO then lock or cross that order, it will stand its ground, which is our standard functionality for our limit order types once they're posted. So, these are offered on both exchanges, and we will, there's a blog dedicated to those on our website, and there's also an order type section where these are also explained.
Excellent. So going on to the one that's on NYSC ARCA only is the post-no preference blind. So this is a limit order, again, that does not route away to away markets. So if you send in the post-no preference PNPB order and it locks or crosses an away market, it will first trade any size on our exchange, Amy, and then it will go blind. It won't be disseminated. And if the MBBO unlocks, then the PNP order will be disseminated to OPERA. And once a PNP blind order gets disseminated to OPERA, it's going to stand its ground the whole time. Right, Amy?
You're exactly right. And it will also never go blind again once it's posted to the book. So this is only on an incoming basis if the size on NYSC ARCA or NYSC Amex is not sufficient to completely fill the order, and there is an away exchange at that same price. As you said, once it trades any available volume on one of our exchanges, then it will go blind. This does cut down on, obviously, the need to cancel replace.
I like that.
Because it does go blind. And, the other important point that you illustrated is that once it's no longer locked or crossed by an away BBO, we will send it out loud to Opera and it will stand its ground.
I got a quick question. So now if the PNPB is in the blind state and a contrasite order or quote arrives on the NYSE ARCA or Amex, how does it work? Does it trade? Do we still get the posting credit?
Right. So the PNP blind is available for trading at all times, whether it's in lit up state or in blind state. And the PNP blind does, retain its right to a posting credit. The only thing that is different is that we're not sending it to Opera because we don't
blind state.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. I love this order.
And the other thing to note is that these orders are completely blind. We don't disseminate them over ARCAbook, so it's not a case of a limited audience getting, an extra look at any liquidity on our book. They are truly blind.
No sneak peeks.
No sneak peeks.
I love that fairness. PNP Light only, PNP LO. Now, of course, again, another limit order. Of course, does not route away. Now, this is a marketable incoming PNP LO orders will trade against any displayed interest, of course, and post any remaining shares to the NYSE ARCA book, because this is only offered on NYSE ARCA book. Now, if an incoming PNP LO order will cancel back to the order sending firm for a couple of reasons, right? If it comes in and it locks or crosses the NBBO, or they're marketable against any non-displayed interest present in our NYSE ARCA book, like a PNP blind order or a non-displayed size of our reserve orders. Hence, they wouldn't get the posting credit. So, but once a PNP LO it gets posted and disseminated, the order won't route and it will not cancel if it gets locked or crossed on away markets.
That's true. And one thing, to be really clear is that the PNP LO order will take liquidity, so it doesn't always get the posting credit. We have another order type that we'll discuss shortly that, helps folks control their costs by only posting. What the PNP LO does is it allows our participants to really control who, what they interact with. So if you see something being disseminated out to Opera, you send in an order where you're willing to trade with what's being disseminated out to Opera, and then you hope to post the balance to help control your costs. This takes the risk of sending in an order where you see some portion displayed, like a 10 lot, but if it's actually a 100 lot with, only 10 showing and 90 held in reserve, then
it only trades with the 10 lot.
It will only trade with the 10 lot, and then it will cancel back to the entering firm.
Excellent. So it only trades with lit up or displayed
That's correct.
size
That's correct.
in the market.
Yeah. And when we're talking about the ARCA book here, I want to make sure that everyone understands that is the ARCA consolidated book and not our ARCAbook feed. Because sometimes if you say it quickly, it can be either one. And again, this is for NYSE ARCA just because, we want to help folks control their costs with the post-take.
Okay. Oh, that's always a good thing. So ALO, adding liquidity order. So this is also a limit order, and it's used to add liquidity. I like that. So pretty straightforward. Only offered on NYSE ARCA again. So it's any marketable incoming AOL order will cancel back to the order sending firm, hence because they would be taking liquidity, and that's not what this does.
That's right. Whether it's marketable on our exchange or away, it will cancel back. The goal here is, you want to post liquidity. This gives you the control to do that. No, there's no really bells and whistles to this order type. It's very straightforward. And along with the PNP order types, I feel like it's just another good tool in somebody's trading arsenal. They have a wide range of choices for how they want to control their order flow coming into the exchange.
Sort of like power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. I love it. It gives you options, trading options. Okay, so moving on, we have our, my favorite order type in the whole PNP suite, and that's the PNP Plus for complex orders. And these are designed to provide the sender price improvement over the leg markets at the time of execution. So upon receipt, our matching engine will validate the price of a PNP Plus complex order against the leg markets, and it will post at a less aggressive of its limit price or MPV, and MPV is a minimum price variant, right?
Yep.
And the smallest MPV will be used, so if
That's
it's
right.
a 10 cent and a 5 cent, we'll take the 5 cent.
That's correct.
And if it's a nickel or a penny, we take the penny.
We take the penny. So it's always posted at the most aggressive possible price in the book without interacting with the legs, and also will not generate a price improvement option. So if we kind of think about what's coming in the next quarter, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, this fits in, again, to a broad range of choices for our clients for how they want to control their order types. How they want to control their interaction with the order book through the use of these innovative order types.
So it sounds like very dynamic.
It is very dynamic, because what will happen is once it's entered and posted an MPV away from the legs, let's say that the derived BBO moves to a less aggressive price. Well, the PNP Plus order will follow it, so it always is in the market at the most aggressive possible price without interacting with the legs. And if the derived BBOs become more aggressive, it will back off. So it maintains that 1 MPV buffer no matter what the market is doing.
Wow, very nice. Looking at the second bullet point on the next slide, if an incoming marketable contraside PNP Plus complex order is received, it will immediately trade against the posted order with no auction or delay, just like you said.
That's correct. So if you have an order in that's mid-market, you can, obviously a customer order has to be exposed for a second,
right.
But you can use the PNP Plus complex order followed by a weight complex order on the other side that's also a PNP Plus. And as long as they're, away from the legs by 1 MPV, they can immediately interact. So it's a quick functionality, and again, within that complex order book, we have some very attractive fees as well.
Oh, that's going to be on the next slide. I got one other quick question. Oh, no, it's on this slide. Yeah. So 10 cent per side interfirm, and then intra-firm with an A. If you're not from Texas, you can say that correctly, is only a nickel.
That's right. And, just so folks know, again, in first quarter, when we sort of, finish out our complex functionality, we are going to be taking another look at our pricing. We want to be dynamic and competitive in that area, so we'll have some news coming out in the first quarter potentially regarding that. And that's probably a forward-looking statement that I didn't mean to make.
So we disclaim any knowledge.
So,
okay.
But the PNP Plus complex order type, I think, is very attractive, especially on NYSE ARCA, because you have a guaranteed complex order rate, and you don't have to worry about paying the take fees against the individual legs. So,
save on the take fee.
Right.
I like that. Quick question. Now, in the PNP Plus complex, this has to be a limit order also, right?
No, it doesn't, actually.
Oh.
You can enter a PNP Plus complex order that is a market order, which means that, whatever the outright markets are doing, it will track to those outright markets and maintain the MPV buffer.
Wow. I think this needs its own theme song.
I think it already has its own theme song, Todd.
Lord, it's hard to be humble.
So if anybody is curious, go read Todd's blog on the PNP Plus complex order type. It's very entertaining, and one of these days we're going to get sound hooked up to the blog so you can hear Todd's lovely singing voice.
But we will spare it to you today.
That's right. We got other things to talk about.
Other things to talk about, and we want you to stay on the webcast, not leave and get help for your hearing. So this is really going to put more oomph in your trading arsenal.
Absolutely. And as I've told folks before, this isn't a one-size-fits-all order type, obviously. Right now, it was a way for us to further expand the complex order book because PNP Plus complex orders allow our clients to trade any one of the issues listed on either NYSE ARCA or NYSE Amex. So, where if you send in a non-PNP Plus complex order, you're limited to issues that trade all in pennies. Okay, and that's for options only.
Right.
Okay.
So, so now you have two different slightly PNP Plus complex order types. So on NYSE ARCA, you can have up to 5 legs. One of the legs could be a stock or an ETF.
That's right.
And on Amex, you can have up to 5 legs, but all the legs must be options.
That's right, but that's just short term because coming in the first quarter, we will add the capability on Amex to include a stock leg as well. And while we're on the topic of stock legs, I want to point out that while you do need to send in a PNP Plus contingency on the complex orders that are all options, with the exception of the Qs and the FX options on ARCA, for buy rights, married puts, reversal conversions, delta neutrals, where there's one option leg and a stock leg, you do not need to use the PNP Plus order type. So those will interact with the legs if you so choose.
Okay.
On NYSE ARCA, folks just need to be aware that they pay the take fee when they interact with the legs. When we go live on Amex in Q1, again, folks can choose whether or not to use the PNP Plus order qualifier on their stock option trades, whether they want to interact with the legs, right away, or if they want that 1 MPV buffer.
Okay. I like the 1 MPV buffer myself personally. And so real quick on the MPV, last question on that. If it's a penny issue, it will be 1 cent MPV.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct. So if all of the legs are priced in, or if one of the legs is priced in pennies, it'll be an MPV away from the outright markets, which in that case would be a penny. So these are, like we said, these are very aggressive. They're very dynamic. They keep you in the market at a very attractive price.
Wow. A lot of oomph there.
And I think you brought up another important note earlier, Todd. It is the lesser aggressive of the MPV buffer or the limit price. So if you come in and you want to be truly mid-market or closer to the bid, you can certainly do that as well.
And put it in your limit.
You just put in PNP Plus and put in your limit.
Totally makes sense. And it'll move up and down, as the market moves.
That's right. And it won't. If you put in a limit, then it will obviously stop at its limit. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice of it. That's how it's supposed to be. Oh, I like that. Okay, so now we've come to our favorite time, the question time. So this is where your questions are answered. Please start typing in now, sending them now. They will be down. Type in the questions below in the question box below this main window. And while you're typing in the questions, further reading, Amy was already kind enough to mention our NYSE blog.
It's good fun.
It's good fun.
It's free entertainment, basically. And very informative at the same time.
I love Amy. How can you not? But, yes. But there's 4 articles, as you're seeing right there, an in-depth look at PNP blind orders, a detailed look at PNP LO, a closer look, and then, of course, perusing the hard-to-be-humble PNP Plus complex orders. Now, you can find that on the main page of the NYSE.com website. You'll be looking at the middle of the page. You'll see our blogs. It's going to be in the middle of the page. And if you just go to the archives, it's going to be in August of 2009. August of 2009. Punch up the archive, and you'll see all 4 right there.
So while we're waiting for folks to send in some questions, I did want to kind of revisit a couple of points. We were talking about some things that are coming in first quarter, and again, these are target dates, so I'm not saying anything forward-looking. We will be adding a complex order auction in the first quarter, so that will round out our suite of complex order functionality. That way, clients truly have absolute power and control over how their orders will interact. They can enter a non-PNP Plus order that is not marked for complex order auction. It will trade immediately. They can enter a non-PNP Plus order that's marked for complex order auction so that it will conduct a price improvement auction. They can even send in a PNP Plus order marked for complex order auction so that at the end of the auction, if there's any remaining balance, it will price back from the lake. So, you know, I think this is an important building block in pursuit of our goal, as always, to give clients choice and flexibility in how their order flow interacts on our exchange.
Okay.
Okay. And one other thing that we should mention is that for folks that are looking to trade stock option trades, you do need to have an ETP on the equities, so an equities trading permit.
I was going to mention that. Thank you for mentioning that. Equities trading permit. So you need an OTP, obviously, for the Amex, and ATP for ARCA, or maybe...
And then ETP for the ARCA equities.
Just trading the stock.
And full FINRA membership is also required.
We just want everything. But you probably already have the ETP, OTP, and ATP, and if not, get on the bandwagon and join those three. Keep sending in your questions. The last thing is where you can find this website again, and I'll pull that slide up as you're finishing doing questions. It's going to be, when you go to our main website page, nysc.com, left side of the column, choose the futures and options. You can either pick NYSE Amex or ARCA options, your choice. Hit the overview tab, and then it's going to be on the right side of the main header, and it'll be education. Hit that tab, and it'll come right up. Okay, questions. Excellent. We have a couple of questions.
So the first question coming in is asking about the PNP blind functionality. And the question is if a PNP blind order is in blind state because it's locking or crossing the displayed NBBO, if another order comes in that matches the NBBO on the contra side of the PNP blind order, will it be charged a liquidity taking fee? Yes, it will. And, you know, so for folks that are uncomfortable with that, that's why we offer the PNP LO order type, which will, you know, guarantee you that you won't interact with the blind order or with any reserve portion of a reserve order. So if you send in a regular order, yes, you will interact with the PNP blind and be charged a take fee.
That was a good question. Yeah. Thanks so much for sending that in. So in an example of an ALO order, how would this differ from just a regular limit order?
Right.
Well, going back to the ALO orders, it's adding liquidity only, so it actually can't post if it's going to take liquidity.
Well, it can only post, right?
Right. It can only post if it adds liquidity.
Right. So it will not interact to take liquidity. And that would be another way, if you want to join the NBBO but avoid a PNP blind order, you could also enter an adding liquidity order. The question here was a PNP ALO. Actually, the order type is just ALO, and you know, it has some similar functionality to the PNP order type, being that it will not route out to another exchange. But if you're looking in the fixed specifications, just look for ALO.
Okay, ALO. And there's on the web blog, on the blogs, there's we get into fix and ARCA Direct and all the numbers and letters if you need that, and also it's obviously in the
fixed specification, which you can also find a link to on the website, and that's available to anyone who is interested in doing some research.
Now, I like this last question. When did these go live? They went live in August. So we're glad that you've joined, and we hope that you're using them by now. But if not, we're glad that you joined the webcast so that you can start using these order types.
Yes. Again, the information is all on the website. Both Todd and I are available and happy to discuss these in further depth with anyone that wants to have an offline conversation, you know, to walk through more examples, you know, to answer any questions that you might have about interaction behavior, etc. So, you know, as always, feel free to shoot us an email or give us a phone.
Yeah. And give us a call.
You know, and if you call me, I'll give you Todd's home phone number. So you can bother him at midnight if you want.
Oh, she's not being serious. And, you know, in her email, give her email out, afarnstrom@nyx.com, and of course mine is twilemon@nyx.com.
So we don't have any more questions in the queue right now. I would like to give people an opportunity to send in any other questions that you might have at this time. Looking ahead, we plan to have another webinar in January. We haven't settled on a topic yet. We have a lot of exciting things in the pipeline, so it's kind of difficult to choose what should come next. But we will certainly get the word out to you, well in advance so that you can keep us on your schedules. We really appreciate your participation, in these webinars. And again, as always, if you have any suggestions for topics that you would like us to address, please send us an email, and we will definitely put those on our schedule.
I think that's a great idea. Also, if you have any order types that you would like to see on our exchange that you don't see, we would like to hear about them. Because we're here.
Yes, we are.
And we take suggestions. Oh,
we have one more question coming in. If I can find it.
Can we hear
Can we hear Todd sing now? I promise I will keep working on adding that functionality to the blog. But for today, I think we're probably finished for now.
Yeah,
right?
we've come up against our time constraint.
Yeah.
Golly.
Okay, well, thank you again, everyone, and thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Amy. And
It's a
again,
pleasure.
it's always a pleasure to be with Amy. And again, you can find this rebroadcast of this webcast on our blog, on our website, nysc.com.
And that'll probably be up, later this week or early next week?
It'll be up either Friday afternoon or Monday.
Okay, great.
So, obviously you can email out links to it to all your friends. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Everybody have a nice afternoon and evening. Goodbye.